30K is going to be like? Let's find out.
The longest stage of the event, the 30 kilometers of WRC, is coming up next. This morning, we saw this stage deliver a lot of different surface changes. We've got a lot of undulation within this one. There's a lot of uphill sections. This got pretty much everything that Rally Paraguay has to offer in one stage. We do have some jumps in here, but nothing nearly quite as big as the opening stage that we saw this morning. But it is a huge stretch, obviously, and we'll see what the conditions are like out there right now as we head to join Elfyn Evans and Scott Martin, who will be first on the road for us. I think it's looking really interesting out there. There's the latest from Hankook with the analysis of the stage, and second pass through is going to be pretty tough. There's going to be a lot of loose rocks in here which could catch you out, and at 30 Ks and with the heat really increasing out there as well, you can see the stresses and strains that the tyres can potentially take across this one, and one more to go after it.
Both high wear and high puncture risk for this one from Hankook there. So this will be interesting. Got to stay out of trouble, guys. Look after those tyres.
100, keep right, very late, open, 4 left, just in, okay, loose, open.
The information we received in was in most of the stage, the lower surface is holding together very well. There's no ruts or soft loose areas, but in general there is some low grip here, very polished sections towards the end of the stage.
We just heard from Elfyn on the previous stage that he said, I may have forgotten how to drive in these conditions. So hopefully he's had a reset now and got himself ready for the 30K, and we'll have a better run through here.
Yeah, it's really interesting because, as I mentioned this morning, you know, we've all come here with very much kind of, you know, the blinkers on. We don't know how the stages are going to evolve. And when we've talked to team, we've talked to drivers after the recce, they did think in certain parts it would start to break up. But from the information we're getting in right now, this stage is looking good. We'll see what it's like second pass after rally ones have gone through, and maybe some of the later guys may tell us a little bit differently, but the stage is holding together really well. It's not rutting, it's not breaking up as much, it's just not a huge amount of grip towards the end of this one. It's very, very polished. But it's a long way to go to the end. We're only just past the 2.5 kilometre marker. Let's have a listen in to the pace notes here, delivered by the legendary Scott Martin.
Flat left long, out into 4 left sharp, maybe. Caution down over crest. 40, caution right in through the crest, into 6 left sharp, flip. 120.
I say legendary. Scott has been around this sport for many, many years, back to the late 90s, where he was, as he described to me, a vision technician for Colin McRae, meaning he cleaned his windscreen.
It's an amazing story, though.
It is, yeah. And I think Scott has seen kind of different variations of this sport, you know, driving trucks around for M Sport back in the day, you know, helping what he described as a very limited sense in terms of mechanicking, to being in the co-driving seat and working his way up to absolutely the top level in co-driving. He's got some stories to tell.
I remember especially one from last year when he left his pace notebook at a stop line, and he had taken pictures of his pace notebook. That's what he used. It was amazing.
It was amazing, you know, and that just goes to show, you know, the sheer professionalism. Okay, leaving the pace notebook aside, but when you're faced with a situation where you haven't got your notes, what do you do? And he'd already planned for that possibility, and every single page had been photographed. But he had to try and follow it through his phone, which was exceptionally difficult, but he did a wonderful job.
Yeah, phone is small, and the writing on the phone even smaller, and then it's bumpy and rough, and yeah, what a job he did there. What will Kala do now? 30 Ks, 5.5 behind the lead.
Now's the time to try and make the difference, because it's now that road position is decided, because it's a super special stage which rounds off the day, of course. So for the all-important road positions for tomorrow, it all counts, and you've got 30 kilometres to try and make a difference. It's really easy to say that here in a very comfortable commentator's booth. These guys have got to go out there and do it on a very difficult landscape, but a landscape that has enthralled us today.
It's really delivered so far. It's given us a bit of everything from what we see here. The scenery is amazing. This opening stage of the loop has had us breathless a few times, and not just us, but the guys in the car as well. A real challenge.
And that's what having a brand new event forming part of the championship calendar does. Levels out the playing field. And in a really, really strong way, at a very critical point in the championship calendar for the title fight. And I think, you know, everyone's kind of, there's been many moments where these drivers have been scratching their heads, whereas some events we go to which make limited changes sometimes to the itinerary, they can learn stages, they know them by heart. You know, events are getting on top of that now. They're being clever, they're reversing stages, they're changing things around, they're adding new things in. But when you go to somewhere which is pretty much exactly the same as the previous year, then these guys know it. And then you come to somewhere like this where there's no knowledge whatsoever, and you see them head scratching. You know, it's not as easy, and they've all said it's been far more difficult than anticipated out here. It has been a real challenge.
It's also part of the reason why we see some of the local guys right up there in WRC too. You know, we often see that on unique specialist events.
Yeah,
the local drivers with all that knowledge and born and bred on these roads, they know kind of what to expect.
Yeah, they have an understanding of what the surface is doing, and that's been the factor out there today, which has I'm not saying it's caught them out, but it's perplexed them a little. It's understanding how the surface is changing and where the grip actually is, visually trying to read the road. You can see here, and this stage does differ from the other two in the sense that it does have a little bit more loose stuff on this. We are kind of ploughing through some gravel in sectors. We've got some cobbles as well in this stage to add into the mix, to the array of surfaces that we see out there during the weekend. Seb Ogier's got 5.3 seconds to make up on teammate Elvin Evans if he wants to try and get ahead of him on this one. It's going to be quite a big ask. Elvin in turn has 1.1 to make up on Sami Pyrie. Pyrie's only 8/10 behind Neuville. Neuville's 5.1 behind Tanak. Still the gaps are super small, so there's lots to look at here.
A lot of fans out on this stage. Been there for days.
They have been there for days. There's no question. We saw them, piling in earlier this week, and you know, the wagons were loaded up with everything they needed for the whole weekend. It's all been part of the atmosphere building, days and days. It really culminated last night with the ceremonial start, which was a complete fiesta. It was a huge carnival here right in the centre of Encarnacion, right next to the service park. Brilliantly attended by so many people. It was a very relaxed vibe ahead of what all the drivers knew was going to be a really tough day today. At least they could kind of kick back last night just for, you know, half an hour or so, just to relax, enjoy the samba music, and before they were back watching videos and reading notes.
It was a nice little touch as well that they could do a couple of donuts in front of the fans at the opening ceremony as well. That was allowed last night.
Yeah, exhibition driving was allowed. There was a section just after the ceremonial start where they could do that. Some did participate, some didn't.
Yep. But the fans loved it. Absolutely loved it.
120 feet left, slot, handbrake right, north.
Just over halfway, or around halfway now.
Yep.
For Elvin.
opens.
Just past 15 kilometres.
Right long over crest. Opens
Heading towards 17.6.
Right plus maybe over crest.
I was wondering when you were talking about Scott earlier, just how many pages he has on this stage. It's always interesting, you know, to know.
It all depends. I mean, roughly rule of thumb is a kilometre per page,
Yeah.
but it depends on, like, for example, Elvin has a lot of detail in the notes, so it's probably going to be more for Scott. And it depends how big the writing is as well. You contrast some drivers like Louis Luca, who's a co-driver to Greg Munster, has very flamboyant writing. So he's probably got about 70 pages for this stage. Okay, Louis is probably not that much. Then Martin Yarveoja has really small, compact writing. So it's all different between them because they've all got their different styles.
So interesting, isn't it? And so many different styles in the way they deliver as well. And a lot of that has to do with the driver profiles.
Yes, absolutely. Let's get on board with Kalle Rovanperä now then. And, you know, he was in the lead this morning. Formo took that lead. It's still not much though. 5.5 seconds between them. A little while till Adrian Formo gets underway on this stage.
Yeah, Kalle said on the previous one he was expecting more grip out there.
I wonder what he'd say about the end section of the stage. What we're hearing is very low grip towards the end, so not a lot to be gained. And inconsistent again because they'll be having a lot of grip in this section maybe, and then they get to the end and slippy as anything. Rogging the line there, we just went over.
Fans cheering now. A lot of this road is made for spectators because they're kind of up on a little bank, aren't they? So they're safe from the road and they can see a lot.
Yeah, good vision point. So it's towards the end of the stage we see that tiered section which has been dug out by the farmer there. He has created his own rally spectating area, and good for him. And I'm really happy for the locals who are, you know, the camping sites are being used here. They're creating areas. There were lots of fridges being delivered and electricity power points, generators being delivered to the fan zones to keep things cool out there. Lots of people have been really thinking about this, preparing for this weekend and to make the whole experience right up there. And from what we saw in the build-up, yeah, this is where you want to be spectating. Towards the end is a really big spectator section. Okay. Sebastian Ogier is the man setting the pace within this stage. The only one who's faster is Oit. He's just got underway, but to the two in front, Seb is faster.
This is the stage earlier. Seb had no spares left, and he just decided, right, I'm going to go for it. I've got nothing to lose.
Yeah, and he really did throw caution to the wind. It was an amazing time through here. And we didn't quite know what the approach was going to be, but we shouldn't really have second-guessed him because he had, as he quoted, nothing to lose. So he just went for it. So he just goes over this kind of man-made jump here. So we've kind of gone off the stage just to go around this field. I say we're still on the stage, but we're off the main road, essentially.
This is still looking as loose as it was this morning.
Yeah. And then we head back out, rejoin that main road.
I mentioned it on the morning loop or at Shakedown stop line. A couple of Finnish fans there, some Estonians as well, who've made the long journey to Paraguay to support their drivers.
Well, they can make a huge journey out of it, can't they? 'Cause they can really do 2 events in one. Chile in just a couple of weeks' time. So if you're going to make a journey to South America, encompass two rallies, see a bit of the country as well, why not?
Yeah, we see that everywhere we go. There are so many passionate fans making, really long journeys to get there.
It's a proper pilgrimage to get here, but well worth it when you are here for the experience. Very busy inside the car of Elfyn Evans, Scott Martin. They're not too far away now from the end of the stage.
5 right, long, tight, sharp, wide, 40, flat leftish of a crest, 350. Crest, 300 of a crest, keep right, very unseen, slot 9 left minus, lift, keep. Right to the small crest, 70, English 5 left plus slot.
A lot of fans in that area.
Tightens. Left over 80. English 4 right, deep, 70.
You can see the bedrock just poking through here.
English 4 left sharp, maybe. Caution, deep, 60. Crest. 300 deep left, polish. Unseen, slot late-ish, 6 right plus.
It's amazing how they are flat out for so long and then they get it so right, just exactly where they need to brake and how hard they need to brake, and then they just get that corner right. That's why they do what they do.
Although we've seen a couple of them get it wrong in this sector, haven't we, today? Kissing that bank on the right-hand side. But it's a beautiful thing when it all comes together. You're watching kind of poetry in motion.
50, right of a crest, 60 feet, left, 3 left plus slot, water inside, into right of a long crest, 50 feet brakes, don't long left entry, unseen slot open, 7 right of a crest, just in amber, tight sharp, 40, long crest, 250 feet, of a finish, long crest of a 120.
16 seconds faster. Hot work in that car this afternoon. It is, the temperatures are high. He is busy in his position in the car, and there's a lot going on. It's a full sweat on in there for Elfyn Evans, but it's the longest stage of the day and indeed the rally done. He'll have to wait now to see what the guys do behind in terms of his battles, try and get past Sami Pyrie. It's a while till Sami gets underway on the stage, but let's cross out. PK should be there for us.
Elfyn, been a tough old day for you out there today. A lot of green numbers on the split times again. How's the surface evolved for this second pass for you?
Yeah, it's very polished. So yeah, our grip is still pretty mixed, but okay. So yeah, still tricky.
Road position, of course, decided after this stage. You think you've got enough ahead of you tomorrow to be able to do something tomorrow?
I don't know. It looks like we tried in here now, but I'm not so convinced it's going to be a good time.
Let's see. Elfyn Evans on that. Let's see, because Sami Pyrie hasn't started the stage yet. He was hoping to try and get ahead of Sami. Maybe even Thierry, who knows? Like he said, he's given it as much as he can in there, but he's got to wait. Rejoin then Calero from Pera. He's 2.1 seconds up on Elfyn at the final split point. He's in second position. It's been a good run out there today for Kalle. Scott Oitanak chasing him down. There's 12.6 seconds between them, and Oit is faster within the stage by 2.5 seconds. That's at the midpoint. Let's see what it'll be come the end of the stage, but I think Kalle can be hopefully happy with what he's done out there today. In difficult circumstances for all the crews discovering Rally Paraguay. He was leading the rally. He is in a strong second position right now. And ready to challenge as the event moves on.
It's amazing. Round 10 of 14, Callas 3 points behind Elvin in the championship. It doesn't get any better than that, really.
You know, at one point you wouldn't have thought that he was going to get anywhere close because he was struggling so much on the gravel stuff. I mean, he had a brilliant performance in Gran Canaria, but that was on tarmac, and then we were back to the gravel and Estonia. We all expected to see the magic. It's his event, and it didn't come. It came for Oliver Solberg instead. But yeah, in Finland he brought it back together, and boy did he bring it back together. Puts himself well within that title fight now, and it's a good time on the board. Here, 15:48.2. Teammate Ogier, though, is faster behind. Let's take a look at what it is at 22.5. 3.3 seconds.
So many people in this section, amazing. And it's like we talked about earlier, they've just carved out all of these sections and made a little city out of it.
Yeah, this is a pretty famous sector at the end of the stage for the spectators. Let's cross out then, catch up with Calais.
Well, Calais, it's quite some stage, 1.5 up on Elvin, but Oit's on a bit of a mission behind you. How was it for you, this second pass?
It was okay. Clean run. I did some small tests in the car, so was slightly better in places. But yeah, I cannot really find much more time than that. It seems that it feels like quite clean in places and not doing anything crazy, but keeping a good flow. But yeah, it's not enough. We should push a bit more. But I also felt this one and the previous one probably cleans a bit. It feels that it's really narrow line up to the small car, so it's not easy.
Well done, good day.
Yeah, this was the one we noted from all of the three, that there was the biggest cleaning in here. He's still feeling that effect by the sounds of things.
Yeah, and him mentioning the lines of the smaller cars as well, further back in the road order, making it
just making it messier.
Tricky.
Yeah, they make the line messy. They've created a nice line this morning, but then of course the different wheelbase cars, you know, it's just smaller, and they create just a messy line that they then have again to cut through.
Just to add to the complexity of this wonderful sport.
Gauche à fond, pas corde, 180 mètres, devant peloton, frein droite, 133 millions pas corde, léger pompé sorti, 133 millions pas corde, léger pompé sorti. Pour un gaucher,
Seb Ogier himself is fighting for position here. He was only 5.3 seconds behind Elvin Evans coming into this one. He's 6.9 seconds faster at the final split point. That would mean a position change. The countdown to Rovanpera's time on the board. He's 5.8 seconds faster than Rovanpera, but crucially 7.3 seconds quicker than Elvin Evans, which means Ogier moves ahead of Evans for a better road position for tomorrow. Elvin was hoping that he would be able to get ahead of the guys in front, but he knew Seb Ogier was behind. 2 seconds is the difference between them. Let's see what the other drivers bring to the mix in terms of their classification come the end of the day. This is the stage which will decide road position.
Seb, I've got good news. That first target is achieved, 7.3 up on Elvin. That's good news for you for tomorrow road position, right?
Did I pass him? Yep. That's good news, but it was hard fight. Honestly, I gave everything I had.
Sometimes when you get these issues early in the rally, like a setback like that puncher, it really does put fire in your belly, right?
Yeah, that's the moment where I can prove my real speed, you know, when I'm pushing, and like I said, Vincent before, frustrating for the result, but at least we have fun now, we're just pushing.
The championships, they're not easy to win, are they?
Never.
No, they certainly aren't, but they're having fun out there. Like you said, they are just now pushing. They're just going for it. The target is in front, everyone.
Yeah, did I pass him? Did I pass him?
See this junction here? We overshot this on the recce.
No way.
Yeah, we did. By about a kilometre, really.
Who was driving?
I'll not lie.
Who was driving?
Well, I was co-driving, so it's kind of my fault. We were kind of a kilometre down the road, and I was like, this doesn't look right. This is not what it says on the road book. So that's the reason why I'm not in the co-driving seat, or indeed the driving seat, because I'd be in a bush by now.
I'm not going to say anything because I missed a left-hand corner on stage as well. So, yeah.
Glad we are level playing on that then. Okay, let's have a look at Oyt Tanak, who was, in comparison to Sebastian Ogier, looking good on the splits. You can see them here. He was quick at the second split point and third split point. He's just losing a little bit of ground. Seb said, though, he gave it absolutely everything in this one to try and get ahead of Elvin, which he's done. Remember, Oyt Tanak right now is in third position. He's got his teammate 5.1 seconds behind. But he's quicker than Thierry. He's quicker than his teammate by 2.8 over 22.5 kilometers. So he's doing a good job of holding on to that position.
It's almost 30k and there's a tenth of a second in it.
But not just that, you know, he's looking to try and target Kalle Rovanperä, and he is a good bit quicker than Kalle. 4.7 seconds at the final split point, so you know, that gap is going to be reduced. What was it, 12.6 seconds? So that's going to really come down. It's a strong push from Oyt, strong push from Ogier, strong push from Oyt.
0.6.
Now, we'd noticed on split points as Oyt completes here with a great time on the board. I just confirmed the time difference between him and Kalle Rovanperä is now 8.4 seconds. We had noticed that Taka had dropped a little bit of time within this stage. He had an impact at 16 kilometres, and it looks like he may have gone into an access road. More on that in a moment.
Well done. Great to see you get 2 clean stages in a row finally, and good news, that's another 4 seconds quicker than Kalle in there. That gap looks interesting now for tomorrow.
Yeah, I tried. Yeah. Obviously, it's difficult to push if you don't really feel good, but we try, and yeah, it was a tricky stage actually. Suspension is working a lot, and it seems like it's overheating, so some point in the stage it gets very difficult, but it was also a long stage.
Well done, good job.
That's interesting.
Okay, let's have a look at what's going on with Taka and Aaron then. Yeah, they are out of the car here. They are...
Oh, no.
Let's take a look at what's happened then with Takamoto Katsuta. This is not what we want to be seeing, but let's see what's happened. Oh, he's just lost the car here, and it's spun. He's clipped the bank, both sides. Just watch it again.
Yeah, it's just really odd, isn't it? Strange one, isn't it? Because it's not even much of a corner either.
He's just clipped the bank on the left-hand side. It's fired him off, and he's... Yeah, well, he's obviously hit something really hard because he's now on an access road. They're out of the car. There was no urgency from what we saw there from the images coming in of them trying to do something. Oof. That's 16.3 kilometers that impact came at into the stage.
That's tough to take.
Yeah, that is tough. Because he was hunting down Josh McAlean. He'd reduced the gap to just 7 seconds, but unfortunately it's not the way he wanted the story to end. Let's get back to the story though for road position for tomorrow and overall position for today. Oh, I just heard Thierry exclaim there. I thought, yeah, so he was coming really hot into that sector.
Yeah, because he said, oh, yeah, he made...
Yeah, we're just taking out the pole there.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to be kicking himself with that.
Yeah.
That's right at the end of the stage. It is right at the end.
Yeah, it's before that sharp right-hand corner, isn't it? He just went straight on.
So he was looking good in time and has lost now, what, 8.2 seconds to the time we're looking at from Rovanperä.
Here we go again.
To Tanak. Let's take a look at it again and look at the speed here.
Yeah.
There's the flight. He's gone through the yellow boards. We're coming up to the red.
Oh, he lost it quite early on as well. He just slides down there instead of going hairpin right. Oof.
Oh, that is a mess right at the end from Thierry Neuville.
That was just a big, long slide there.
He was 3.9 slower than Tanak final split. He completes 12.4 seconds slower.
Thierry, the pace had looked pretty good, certainly compared to Sammy. Obviously a moment for you right at the finish. What happened?
Stupid mistake. I braked too late. I somehow saved it, but I braked far too late.
Yeah, you were well up on Sammy. It still remains to be seen, but yeah, obviously dropped about, I don't know, 6 seconds or so just in that moment. Let's see what Sammy can do, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. We lost 10 seconds in the last junction, so stupid mistake. We were close to be there. The tires were very warm, and I was losing them more and more, and I just braked at the same place as this morning, but with overheated tire, no chance. Hard luck.
Yeah, he was way too hot in that sector, which is really unfortunate. He's dropped behind Ogier and Evans. Whoa, what's happening here? This is Sami Päivärinta, Marko Salminen.
They've been stopped.
They're getting their, they're getting their belts back on here. Have they stopped to change a wheel? Let's find out.
So just slowing down here.
Yeah, they've just pulled over to change a wheel. Ah, that is a real shame for Sami Päivärinta.
There's a lot happening now.
That was at 12.6 kilometers in. They had to change it. But yeah, that's a real disappointment for Sami. So we've had Neuville with, an overshoot there. Way too hot into that sector, losing precious seconds, dropping 2 places for road position, right on pretty much the flying finish. Almost on the flying finish.
Very angry about that.
Yeah. Okay, and breathe. There's a lot going on in the stage so far then. Just to recap where we are, Ogier's leading the stage, Tanak second fastest, then Rovanperä, Evans, Neuville. Adrien Fourmeau, our rally leader, is picking his way through now this 30-kilometer stage. Those splits you can see in comparison to the fastest man through, that is Sébastien Ogier. If we look at him to Rovanperä, he's a little bit slower, but only 0.3 of a second slower, 1/10 slower now at the next split point. Let's see what it is at 27.5 kilometers. We're approaching that split. Hold on, you could just hear that from Adrien. We have an alert here for our rally leader. It is a front right tyre pressure alert for Fourmeau. And we still have a distance to go here. We've got just 4 kilometers left to go. Just a reminder.
What's happening in here?
Yeah, there's a lot going on in this stage. He's got 5.5 seconds in hand over Rovanperä.
He's definitely not full attack now.
No, definitely not. You can see it, but you could just see it just before that tyre pressure alert came on. So front right, you can see how soft that is. Still held together right now.
Fairly close to the end. 7.5 down on the splits, but that is
that's to Ogier. It's 2.7 down final split to Rovanperä. Yeah, we've got a little bit, is the tyre just leave and go here, because I just saw a little bit of debris coming up from that front wheel.
Oh yeah, look at the wheel arch.
Yeah, it's starting to move.
Yeah. Tyre is now giving way properly.
He mentioned it earlier, you know, he didn't want to talk about being in the lead too much because so many things have happened when he's been in a good position. But now for Adrien Fourmeau, this is disaster on the final stage of the opening day.
Let's see what the damage is.
There you go. You can just see the rest of the tyre now disappearing. Little sections coming off earlier. The wheel arch has moved up.
Yeah. It's going to feel like forever, isn't it, these kilometres for Adrien?
And the time just disappears away here, and so does the lead of the rally. He drops to second, though. He doesn't lose podium position here. 7.6 seconds adrift of Rovanperä, but a frustrated Fourmeau at the end of Friday. Almost the end. One more stage to go. We'll hear from him in a few moments, but it is the slowest time on the board, as you can imagine. 16:01.3 is the time, 18.9 slower than Ogier. But crucially, he has lost the lead to Rovanperä, but it's still a small gap in time. He needs to take that positive, that it's not more time lost. Let's just take a look at the replay here with that tyre starting to disappear. There you go.
Oof, look at that.
I think he's been, I know, you know, he's quite lucky that he's not been far away from the flying finish when that has happened. That could have happened halfway through the stage.
Yeah, it could have been like with Sammy.
Yeah, Sammy's had to stop and change.
And then you're talking almost minutes.
He's still very much in contention here. It's just a bit of a blow at the end of the day. Almost the end of the day.
There's Mark from Hankook taking pictures.
Let's get in there and get a few words with Adrien.
Oh, Adrien, the end in sight. Talk us through what happened in there. It was so close to the end.
It happened like 3.5k before the end of the stage. There was a rope just in the line after request, and the car was already loaded. I cannot really avoid it, and immediately I was like, how many K? And next corner it was flat. So yeah, but it's okay. We are still second of the rally. Tomorrow it's a good road position. It's still a long game, so for now we have to focus here, but it's okay.
Yeah, do you know what? There's zero rubber on that. It's just on the rim. 13 seconds. It could have been a lot worse.
Exactly. So that's okay.
Yeah, let's look at the positives here. It could have been way worse, but it isn't. He's still very much in contention here. Still got a good road position for tomorrow. That's the important thing. Right, let's take a look at a replay here for Munster. It is all happening, isn't it, on this penultimate stage of the day.
Into a junction there, ran wide. Greg running with a lot less aero than he should be.
Yes, his rear spoiler is missing. Front splitter missing. Ooh. Yeah, he's just skidded right into that corner.
He's trying.
And out again. Unlucky there was nothing to clip in there.
Adrien's got a calm head on his shoulders. He takes it in his stride and just...
He does, but you mentioned earlier, you know, he'd gone to the kind of sports psychologist, you know, to help him deal with the pressures that they are feeling here. It's the absolute top level of the sport, and you know what many people from the outside looking in might not see is the ultimate pressure these guys are feeling on their shoulders to perform. They're part of a manufacturer team. There's a huge amount of demands that are put out there for them, and he needed someone to chat to be able to deal with that and arrange the feelings so he could cope with what he was doing on the stages. And it's all about your approach and your mindset, and we talk about it so often, but it's really important. We're really glad he did that, and I think that could be...
Yeah, we're seeing it.
We're seeing the results of that calmness. And also, you know, the team would have been on the radio, Pat Marcos would have been on the radio to him, giving him the time and reassuring him, you know, you're still in the mix here.
Yeah. Yeah, he was very quick to say, you know what, we're still in second, this isn't over. Happened towards the end, let's just keep going.
Yeah.
Sammy, on the other hand, that's a couple of minutes lost for him.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate. It was 12 kilometres into the stage, wasn't it, where we saw Sammy pull over to be able to stop and change a wheel. So, yeah, he's lost a good 2 minutes.
He was in a fight for a podium position as well. So, a tough blow for Sammy towards the end of the first day here in Paraguay.
Yeah, it's been a tough afternoon, hasn't it? It's been a tough day, all in all, but this penultimate stage has been particularly tricky.
Yeah, we just passed that corner where Thierry braked way too late, as he said.
Yeah, penny for the thoughts of Sami Pairi right now. 17:54.1 is the time.
2 left, tightens. 60. Right tightens 5, okay, into long, 6 left, 40 down, Brow into caution, early 5 left minus, keep over crest, dip through narrow bridge, 60 slow, 3 right tightens over crest, ice, 60.
Love that, the use of ice to describe what it is feeling like out there in certain sectors.
Continues out over crest, slow, 30 early.
Sammy, that's not what you deserved after such a strong day. I mean, are you aware of hitting something to cause that?
No, this time totally no idea. Yeah, but I think it's one of those loose stones somewhere which can be just in the middle of the line. I don't know, but yeah, it's a shame.
It was a really, really tough stage. Taka's gone off in here and had to retire, had some damage. You're not the only one to have puncture issues. I mean, it's so tough in here, right?
Okay, but Taka's fine. Yeah, he's fine.
Taka's fine, yeah, no, he just damaged the car. No, he's totally fine, yeah. He just had to pull off the road, yeah.
Okay, that's good then.
Yeah, Sammy asking the most important question, and it's one we always check, and that is, are the crew okay? They are. We watched what happened with Taka earlier with clipping, banking, which we think there was a bit of a stone in. I was wondering what that was in front of the screen there, but it's just Greg passing his glasses to Louis. They are almost done for the day, and they really could write a book with the experience they've had in South America so far, just in one day.
They've got themselves some new experiences in the bag. We thought that they could come out this afternoon and give it a go, get some good stage times. Unfortunately struck with more bad luck with that opening stage of the loop, which they hadn't done at full speed in the morning, and were really caught out. Those images from inside the car and their facial expressions and getting thrown around in the seat, I mean, that was a hard watch.
Yeah, it really was.
Bus stop after the flags on left, slot line chop 1 left. Slow, slot, deceptive, only 3 left, half, tighten.
Greg, somehow with one super special to go, you've survived. This is a day you're not going to forget in a hurry, is it? How was this run through?
No, I'm not going to forget it, and I will be happy when it's over. I mean, it's just crazy. I'm quite sore from the first stage this afternoon, so I will be happy when it's done.
Let's look at it this way. It can only get better from here, right?
Yeah, if it gets worse, then we're in big trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, we concur with that statement. Okay, let's turn to Craig's teammate now, Josh McAlean, who, you know, coming into this stage, he was thinking, right, okay, I've got to keep Taka behind, And of course, Taka now has moved on to the access road after damaging the car, after clipping, banking in this stage.
50, Titan latest 4, half jumps, and flat left.
Just got to keep it together now towards the end, and they are almost at the 30k marker.
Inside, okay, and crest, and crest and bus up left, only 40, stay out. Flat 1 right down, double tighten square. 150.
Josh had an overshoot here, the first pass through.
Finish. 150. Middle the long crest.
Just waiting to see if they're going to say anything. 7th overall then for Josh McAlean. Sami Pyrie has dropped behind Josh by a minute after that puncture.
Well done, Josh. Day almost done. I don't know if you're aware before the stage that the tacker had stopped in there. Did that change your approach at all in here, easing the pressure a bit?
We got the information literally on the start line, so it changes our approach a bit, but still we overshot a junction kind of, and yeah, you're always trying to carry the ultimate gear, second gear through the junctions to cut wheel spin and exits, but yeah, when you're trying to get the last part of braking, you sometimes need the first gear down the hills to get it stopped, and in that case we didn't have it, so it's definitely a tricky stage to manage even the tyres throughout the loop.
Really, really tricky stages out there. 7th place in your first visit at the first day in South America. Would you have taken that at the start of the day?
Yeah, I think so. Coming to the end of the first stage, you definitely would have took it because, yeah, no one knows what they expect coming here, and these guys at the front can read the road very, very well straight away, and still to be setting respectable times, respectable splits is something good.
Well done.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was wondering. Keep Tacker behind, so he's going to go pretty much bull of the gate. He didn't need to. And that is Oliver Solberg almost through for the day.
Trying to make up this time that he lost earlier on.
It was this stage, wasn't it, where we saw the puncture for him that dropped him down the order and then put the fire in his belly. That he would make up 1 minute and 13 over the drivers ahead. He's doing good work on this stage in regard to that. He's very much the fastest man out there.
Gauche, 121 plus large. 50 meters.
Johan Rossell has an advantage of 10 seconds over Diego Dominguez.
A much
coming into this
clearer
one.
run through this run this time. Was it a bit tricky though, as you hadn't done it at full speed some of this one?
At the beginning was okay, but at the end I did too many mistakes. It was very slippy, and yeah, to not have done it before, I was pushing a bit too hard and did too many mistakes. But yeah.
The right rear tyre looks a bit second-hand. Do you have a little moment in there?
Yeah, I can feel that, but I have some others. It's okay.
Yeah, it's just off the rim a little bit. Well done.
Engineer Piquet back to the fore here. I think he could have a role as a bit of a team boss later in life. He's got that vibe about him, hasn't
Yeah, he does a little bit.
Or, you know, it's sort of like dad at the stage end.
Dad at the... he won't appreciate that.
I'm sorry, Piquet, it's your new nickname now. Looking after the kids out there.
It goes to show just how much of a handicap it is if you have an issue on that first pass and you get to it the second time. It's doing it for the first time again. Yep. So we've seen that quite a few times today.
So 10-second advantage over Diego Dominguez, 12-second advantage over Nikolai Gryasin, 15.4 over Verves, and 25 over Zaldivar. It's been a good day out there for Johan Rossell.
I think he'll take this any day.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But it's interesting to see on the splits, you know, Verves is a good bit quicker. Diego Dominguez is not too far away from Rossell's time. He is faster, but only by tenths of seconds. So I think this is going to really bunch up a little bit here on this penultimate stage for WRC2. 16:26.3, 5 seconds slower than Solberg's time. But Verves coming with some good pace here. Trying to make some real inroads into the podium positions. 3.4 seconds behind Gryzin, remember. Let's hold that thought and hear from Johan.
Johan, really well done. Just that super special to go. You've got to be really pleased with the day. How was this second pass through the long one here?
It was good. I tried to my best. For sure, I want to. My tire shots need to be safe on the braking, and but more or less happy about the day. It's a strong day for us, and we need to continue like that.
Diego a tiny bit quicker, but only looks like about 0.8 of a second, so you should still hold on.
Okay.
The splits you can see from Robert and to the fastest man through, that's Oliver Solberg.
Yeah, he's doing a good job in here. The last proper stage of the day.
Yeah, it's just 2.5 kilometres of the Autodromo, which is next. Didn't cause any dramas earlier. Well, I say that, but for Gus Greensmith, he might beg to differ with me, because that is when his rear suspension completely gave way, was on that stage. But he was nursing a bit of an issue from the opening stage this morning. He talked about an issue in the rear after a jump for quite a long time, quite many stages after the first one. Okay, Robert is safely through then.
Quite a lot of chat between the two of them there.
How's your Estonian? Negligible? Non-existent.
Yeah.
I think I can order us a drink, and that's about it. Not knowing what they're chatting about there, though. It's a good time on the board for Robert. He's only 1.6 behind Oliver. Crucially, though, he's 3.4 seconds faster than Rossell, so he narrows the gap to 12 seconds to Rossell.
Game on.
Well done, Robert. A few seconds quicker than Johan in there. You closed up the gap. Good run through this second pass.
Yeah, it was, let's say, a bit. We knew what to expect from the previous stages, but I must say it's crazy, slippery in places. It's really something that you, let's say, never would expect when you drive on gravel, dry gravel. Exactly.
I've got Nikolai about 7/10 quicker at the last bit I've got for him. It's looking like quite a fun fight tomorrow, right?
Let's see. There is still 2 days to go, so yeah.
We'll look forward to it. Go Nikolai Mars.
Yeah, the splits we're looking at from Nikolai Gryzin, he is quicker than Robert, but not by much, 0.7 of a second. But he's been consistently quicker than Robert now for 6 split points. Back with Fauzi Aldevar, who has a problem with the rear of the car, which he is hoping to resolve in service later on tonight.
Interesting what Robert was saying, just crazy slippery, and it's something you don't expect on dry gravel.
Yeah.
You start to really understand how tricky this is.
It's because these stages, and I mean, we've driven them, we've seen them, there's not a huge amount of gravel, per se, out there. It's more polished up bedrock with a thin layer of very fine sand in places, very fine gravel. It's not your traditional gravel rally, certainly on these stages. Tomorrow, it switches, and we do see some more loose stuff. But it's very different here, and I'm loving watching them try and adapt to it and try and understand it. It's fascinating.
Yeah. Whatever problem Fau has, he's obviously done a good job nursing it, bringing it back, and then hopefully the team can do a repair. Let's see.
It'll be a busy service area down in Zaldivar's camp tonight. Because, yeah, they are losing time, but not a huge amount of time. Time that they can get back on stages they are more familiar with, that they have knowledge of. That's his advantage here. Right now, he hasn't got the machinery to be able to do that because he is nursing an issue, but hopefully that can be resolved this evening. He's not exactly told us what it is specifically. We can could speculate as to what it is, but we'll wait until we find out exactly what it is at the end of the day. And fingers crossed that they will be able to get it sorted, get back out tomorrow and try and work their way back up into podium position.
It was yesterday at Shakedown when Diego told me at the stage end that he was so busy watching the coverage of Shakedown, seeing the Rally 1 cars go through. And, you know, I guess it sort of feels like a dream come true. Ooh! That was also a...
Wow, Zaldivar! Mistake right at the end here.
Yeah, no chance.
Oh, that is really going to annoy him. You know, it's kind of a bit similar to what we saw with Thierry, but not, it's a little bit more dramatic than what we saw with Thierry. Let's take a look at it again. So we're approaching where they have to turn, and he just goes, the car doesn't turn at all. He just goes straight into the banking in the front.
It seemed like a late braking for him as well, just coming in with too much speed.
Yeah, too much speed, too hot. Yeah, unfortunately, he's not got away with that. Yeah, he's shaking his head there. That's a frustration. That's what he didn't need towards the end of the day.
Val, it's not the first day at your home event you were hoping for, and I understand a bit of a moment there right at the finish. What happened?
Well, yeah, it's just the rear of the car at the moment is uncontrollable. We need to change what is bended, otherwise it's just undrivable.
If you do get this car straightened up tonight at service, I'm sure you're confident in doing that. You're still in a top 5 slot. Is there a lot more to come from Val Zaldivar over the next 2 days?
Well, I don't know if there is a lot more, but for sure there is more. I know that I could be faster, but at the moment I'm struggling a lot with the car. It's just undrivable. I'm sliding everywhere. We have something bent in the back. We know what it is, so yeah, we'll try to fix now, or I don't know. I will retire from the rally otherwise.
What is it?
It's something in the rear.
What up?
He's laughing because he's told us that quite a few times. He hasn't got into detail on it, but he's, like you said, if he can't fix it, that's it. He's out because he can't physically drive the car with it right now. We've just seen a demonstration of that. Stage classification for you. Ogier nabbing the fastest time here with a 15:42.4. Told us that he gave it everything in here to try and get himself a better road position for tomorrow. Tanak was second fastest. Then Rovanperä, Evans, Neuville, Formeau and McAlean. And then we've got Solberg, the fastest WRC2 driver through. You can see Greg Munster and Sami Pyrie in the mix there. Sami Pyrie having to stop and change a puncture in this stage, which is why his time is so slow through there. Kalle Rovanperä is now back into the lead of the rally on the penultimate stage of Friday. He led after the opening stage this morning, lost that lead to Formeau. Formeau has lost the lead due to a puncture in the closing kilometres. 7.6 seconds, though, adrift of the lead. It could have been a lot worse. Tanak is in third position. He's only 0.8 of a second behind Adrien Formeau. Then we've got Sébastien Ogier in fourth position, just 10.7 seconds adrift of podium now, and only 19.1 off the lead. What a turnaround. Okay, let's head into the service park here in Encarnacion and join Kiri.
What a difference a stage makes. Just an incredible turn of events. Just absolutely wild. But as you just heard your commentator saying, it's Kalle Rovanperä that leads the way. This rally really is throwing up absolutely all sorts. And something in particular we've seen is a pretty wild and bumpy ride for our co-drivers, who doors flying open. And Ian Tracy as well in Josh McAlane's car. Notes going absolutely flying because it's so rough and bumpy out there. Now, there's been some absolutely brutal, bumpy and wild moments for the co-drivers over the years. So let's have a look and remind ourselves just how difficult it is to be a co-driver.
30, get the truth!
Oh! Oh!
He moves up a place on the leaderboard at the expense of Gigi Gali. The Italian's put this afternoon, his alternators failed, costing him precious seconds. And the frustration is rises to co-driver and team, overcome by his passion to perform, and now overcome by remorse.
Hand signals only for Scott Martin. The intercom has failed, with Martin unable to deliver those crucial pace notes through Corsica's endless corners. Thankfully, this is one of the rally's shorter stages, but it's still costly. Breen sinking another 10 seconds behind Sordo in the scrap for fourth.
Picked the worst place in the world to lose an intercom. I've driven a whole stage blind, every single corner. With a look at Jesus, I watched the onboard a few times this morning, and this man has been absolutely flat out at hand singles from start to finish. So.
In the lead is Rovanpera's teammate Marcus Grönholm, and Grönholm's eager to extend his lead. Something hard and sharp has pierced not only the underside of the car, but the seat too, and even the underside of co-driver Timo Rautiainen. The welfare of his co-driver a prime concern. The Finn prepared to sacrifice even the lead.
I had to stop because it came some stone or something through Timo's seat, up in the ass of Timo.
But what of Sainz? He and Lewis Moyer started the final stage in 4th place, but flames underneath the Toyota signalled at any... More problems for his colleague Tommy Mäkinen. Transmission glitches were the causes of his time loss, but Rodstrom's bend on stage 6 also caught out the 4-time world champion. A sky-high engine temperature at the end of the stage forced Mäkinen to stop and check for damage. Co-driver Kai Lindström was dispatched to find water for a leaking radiator, then had to resort to scooping water from a swimming pool after the stage to top up their car's hold radiator. But how badly damaged is that radiator, and will it...
Drivers, the bass notes are like the Holy Bible, you know.
Oh, hold on here, what's going on? Look at Scott, he is using his phone.
For the pace notes?
He's not got his pace notebook, he's reading notes from his phone.
Where has his pace notes gone?
Well, this is the eternal question. He's got his pace notebook in his hands.
And he puts it down there.
He's put it down. So he's having a look at his timing card there. He's making sure it's all filled in properly. His pace notebook is on the desk. And now is the moment where he realises he doesn't have the book.
Obviously, there was a big confusion at the stage end there, and I had to get out of the car. That's what I thought as soon as I discovered that, you know, that I didn't have them in my bag. It was either I left them or someone's nicked them.
Petter Solberg's driving for pride after yesterday's disasters. His luck this year has been atrocious, and there's no change here either, as his steering wheel comes loose.
13. All right, get the tool for the steering. Get the tool for the steering, it's loose.
2, right minus, tightens, keep in. 30.
Get the tool!
For the steering,
yeah,
it's in the back.
Steering wheel's a fairly important part of a rally car, but Phil's going to have to try and reach into the toolkit that they've got in the back of the car. You can see him doing that now, and get some sort of equipment to try and tighten the wheel up.
Brilliant.
Look at that, he's just got a socket set out.
It's completely tight.
Okay.
Now, all that time, Petter's been driving with no pace notes, which means he's driving on sight alone. But amazingly, he goes on to set second fastest time in the stage. Incredible.
In caught speeding 2 days earlier. No longer allowed to drive the DS3 himself, Petter hands the controls to his co-driver Chris Patterson, giving him a driving lesson on the way to the stage start.
I will help you, okay? Brake with left foot, yeah.
Petter's expert instructions aren't enough to stop the pair losing their 4th position, but Patterson can hold his head up high as he finishes just 51 seconds behind the leaders, causing a flurry of interest amongst bemused journalists.
Good man, very, very good. He did very well, very impressive. I've never driven before at all.
I had to drive the stage, and hey, that's part of the co-driver's job, and it's been good fun with a right good laugh.
Well, I get the feeling that we might need to remake that video clip after this rally and add just a few more, because I'm pretty sure we're not done with co-driver moments from this weekend. Well, as you know, it's all shaken up throughout that last stage. We've got one more stage to go. But before the rally got started, as always, I got an opportunity to have a look around the surrounding areas. Take a look at this. Welcome to Paraguay, and more importantly, Encarnacion. Now, this is known as the capital of summer, and it may be winter here, but it is still absolutely boiling. Well, we've brought you to this point first. It is the Paraná River. This is the focal point for the whole city, and in fact, what it was built on, a dam was built very early on that then forged this whole city. Just across the way over there is Argentina, but our focus today is here in Paraguay. Well, something that we don't always do is show you the service park, but as it's the first time we're here, we thought we'd give you a bit of a sneak peek. Well, Paraguay becomes the 38th country to host a round of the WRC. Well, we know it borders Argentina, but it's also landlocked between Brazil and Bolivia. Where we are now, Encarnacion, is just south of the capital. It's a 6-hour drive or a 1-hour flight away. Well, now you've seen the service park, let's go and see some of the sights and sounds of Encarnacion. Now, you wouldn't believe it, but just a couple of minutes walk from the service park is this incredible man-made beach. It's Playa San Jose, a really, really popular spot, and lines the river as far as the eye can see. A perfect place to relax. But let's take you a little bit deeper into the city. Now, something we had to show you within this city is this, the Cathedral of Incarnation. Now, this was built in 1913, and there's incredible towers that stand so tall that you can see them wherever you are in the city, both 25 meters tall. And this actually got cathedral status in 1957, and that's quite rare that that happens as well. So this is really a prominent and poignant part of the whole city. Now, before we leave the city, there was just one more thing that I had to show you, and it's this incredible staircase, the staircase of San Pedro. Now, it's made up of thousands of tiny pieces of mosaic tiles that you can see spreading across the whole of this staircase. Now, it was built to celebrate the 400th anniversary of the city and really does reflect the vibrancy and religious and spiritual views of the city. It is absolutely incredible. Well, now it's time to leave the city and get a true taste of Paraguay. Now, we couldn't leave Paraguay without showing you this. Now, this is the Trinidad Reductions and currently is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It was created in the 1700s and is steeped in history. They were home to indigenous people, and there's churches, houses, and all different parts of their settlement here. They learnt education, agriculture, and many other different skills here. This was all part of the Jesuit mission, and here they even created the dictionary that in schools today is what is learnt. Well, there's no better place to complete our tour than here, so I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one. Well, what an incredible tour we had from a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So just taking in some of the amazing places around here, definitely worth a visit here in Paraguay. But we are now back to the serious business. One more stage to go. Kalle Rothenperä is leading over Adrian Formeau at the moment, and it is Emir Penlan, the Welshman, that is headed up to the final stage of the day to catch all of the action. So, Emir, what's going on up there?
Well, we've made it to the Autodromo for the last stage of the day. Are we going to see any more drama on this stage? Who knows? But look at it for a super special. As super specials go, I don't think they get much better. Spectacular views all around. VIP areas right round the track. Bueno-sponsored bar down there with big screens. Those fans have been in there all day having an absolute ball. And as for a spectator place, you see the cars 3 times. They actually fly in over this jump, up and around and back, up and around again into the trees. That's where Gus Greensmith's axle fell off, absolutely collapsed in there. He had to make it all the way around there and back. But look at the people, absolutely thousands of people lining the stage. Yeah, it doesn't get much better than this. Right, I need to go. Last stage of the day coming up.
Well, the most amazing thing is the service park is packed full of fans as well. I am not sure there is a single person left in Paraguay that is either in the service park or on a stage. It's such an incredible turnout, and they've certainly seen some action today already. Like Emmy is saying, that final stage of the day on the way for you. Well, do not worry, the action does not end today. We are starting bright and early tomorrow again with plenty more stages coming up. A different area, different characteristics in terms of the stages. Now, 7:30 is where we start tomorrow morning with stage 9, and it's a full day as expected here in Rally del Paraguay, and that will give us some idea of what is going to happen on Sunday in terms of podium positions. We'll see that Autodromo stage that we're just about to see now run again just one more time tomorrow. So that's all of what's in prospect. 3 stages in the afternoon. How are they going to fare through those? Well, we've got another stage to answer the questions of how they're going to fare. Can Kalle Rothenpera keep it out in front for now? It just has all changed around in that last stage, but it is a short and sharp burst through the Autodromo stage that Emir is at the moment. Sun blazing down, the fans are there. It is going to be an incredible action, and hopefully not too much drama to close up Friday here in Paraguay. But that last stage, like we said, goodness knows, it just caused so many problems. All right, one final bit of action for you today. Let's do it.
One more to go.